time of the year, you know.
I know, it sucks, doesn't it?
It does. I hate it. Oh well, you gotta really crummy.
It turns on real quick. The pilot.
Hmm?
The pilot turns on. It's just I don't get no. Now I'm not getting any.
Any flashes?
Yeah, the status light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not going.
Oh yeah, I see what I did there.
You remember that?
Yeah,
The paper
it's
clip?
all coming back to me now. Yeah, paperclip. Yeah, we're going to our cheater box here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that thing is great. I should build one for you. They're pretty easy to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just bam. Huh?
So it's not getting it.
Hmm? Yeah. Well, you got a bad.
The starter.
You got a bad clicker too.
Yeah, it takes time. I mean, it'll click in a spark too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, magic. Yeah, so I'll have to run back home and get the right. Because last time I probably didn't have the right one either. That's why we did this thing. You know?
Oh, okay.
So let's get you the right one, and come back put the right part in.
Is that
Right.
like something like that? Kind of?
Yeah, it'll be the right. It'll be the matching burner assembly
Okay.
with a thermopile on it that works. Right, and it'll just plop, boom, boom.
So the tank should be okay then. It's
Yeah,
just
tank.
that. So when it turns to a
Fine.
certain degree, it comes to a certain degree and it turns off, correct? The burner.
A certain temperature?
Right. So.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then-
yeah. So
that's
like
why
I have
the-
it on B, right? So
Mhm.
I set it on B, which is like 115 degrees or something like that.
Mhm.
So once it hits 115 degrees, it shuts down. And then
Keeps
when
the
you
pilot on, right?
yeah, it keeps the pilot on. And then when you open up your hot water, it's under pressure from the cold. And so the cold pushes the hot water rises. Pushes the hot water to wherever you're at, shower, faucet,
Right.
whatever. And then when the cold water comes in, the thermostat picks up that temperature change, that drop, and turns it back on again.
So being that the thermal thing is bad, it's not letting it turn back on. Is that what it is?
Oh, you're not getting. I mean, I've only been here for a few minutes. You know. I mean, you said it was coming on, but then it was only running for a few seconds or something like that.
Oh, so today it turned off.
Like lately, it's been giving you trouble. Though.
Lately it's been turning off.
Uh-huh.
They call me about 2 days. Hey, there's no hot water anymore, so it's off.
Okay.
Turn it back on.
No problem.
2 days, and so I'm thinking maybe it's because of that it doesn't ignite back up again when it comes to a certain temperature. It turns off, and
Yeah.
then it ignite again or something.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
trying to figure the theory.
yeah. So it sounds like. Yeah, you got some voltage here. So I'm trying to get the voltage reading. You have some voltage, like some amount of voltage, but not nearly enough to run it. So see when I squeeze these together, it jumped. Did you see that? It went from. So it seems like this.
Maybe it's corroded.
The
Is it
paperclip thing just needs.
cleaning, maybe?
I'm just squeezing it.
I know. I'm saying if you squeeze it, maybe it's a bad connection. In other words.
Yeah. So now it's holding.
So it
Right. So there's just a weak connection inside there.
Should I just reconnect, clean it up, and reconnect them to it?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you could roll with this a little longer if you want. See, now it's at 543. That's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's
So-
enough to run it.
I mean,
But what I'm hoping this is this thing will start throwing a code or saying something else is wrong, you know? Because why did it shut down to begin with, right?
right.
So either this connection broke, just maybe, you know, there was the sunlight finally made its way in here and everything got a little bit loose and the connection, right? Like hit the tape or something. Who knows, right? I'm just trying to think of why it was. That's normal.
That's normal. You were telling me, right?
Yeah, that's just condensation that's falling and hitting. It's normal when the water inside the tank is cold. It's kind of like your car, you know, it runs better at 210 degrees Fahrenheit than it would if it was at 0. Because So this runs better as far as the gas part. So the gas, when the gas ignites, it can land as condensation inside the flue, and then that condensation falls as drops. But once it kind of reaches like an operating temperature, did it go out? Yeah, maybe it did, because it looks like it's dropping. See how it's dropping?
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, like that was weird. It like put itself out or something. So this is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for something to start happening that's odd or weird or different, just besides it having a thermopile problem.
Right.
Because it shut down and then you had to come out and light it, and then 2 days later it shut down again. You had to come out and light it. And yes, this isn't ideally.
That's a problem.
You know, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
But maybe the valve is starting to go too. You know.
Okay.
So maybe.
Maybe you
those.
have those valves? Or I mean,
I'm sorry.
you have that part you have it at home, or you got it?
Yeah, I got the burner assembly at home, so I can go, or the pilot assembly, which is essentially what it is. So I can go home and get that and switch that out, and that'll kind of fix the thermopile thing. But it seems like you do, you know, maybe some of those drops are falling, and kind of hit. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's something we could do to. There is something we might be able to do to eliminate that. If you start getting excessive condensation drops like that are hitting and causing this kind of problem, you can raise the damper by cutting it, and that'll let a lot more of those gases get up there, and it reduces those drops of water from falling. It can kind of eliminate that. It'll still heat the water. The water will get hot, but it looks like it's not really dripping anymore. Maybe it got through that stage. But maybe there's some blockage or something in there. But it's up to you what you want to do. And hopefully it's not the valve. Well, we're still running off the tester. But let's see. Did it go out? Yeah, well, I shut it down. So this might have been enough just to... That much moving around. Yeah, that was just enough to... That amount of movement was just enough to break the connection.
Right.
There we go. Now it's holding. Well, it was holding. Let me go out again. Yeah. All right. So let me go home and get another one of those.
Sounds good.
And then I can bring another damper.
Okay.
You know, maybe a smaller one. We're back.
Forest.
Yeah. No, I saw that pile of weeds.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh man, it's brutal.
They take it off and it comes right out. Concrete all right here in the front.
Yeah, you can see some of the condensation. See the water that's sort of floating on top of there.
Yeah.
So they put these little holes in there, like it builds up enough and it'll drain through those holes.
Oh, I see.
But it might have been splattering enough to put the flame out. Just knock it completely out. So I'll kind of give them a shot. So when the water was hitting, it was probably putting the flame out. You still had a pilot flame, so then the valve after a couple seconds would realize, you know, it needs to start the burner again, then that's when it kicked back in again. So that's my best guess there anyway. It won't make it worse. We're hoping it doesn't make it worse.
Right.
It could. Could always make it worse.
Hoping for the best.
Yeah, we're hoping for the best. If it does, then I'll pry off some of those tabs and make it so that the gas can get out a little bit easier. Oh yeah. Well, I finally got smart, and before I put my extra parts away, I started testing them. You know, because before I was just too busy. And I started testing them out and labeling them, so that way when I go to do this, I can just grab something that I know has already been tested. So just to save myself some time. So this one's got a check mark on it. So it's been tested, yeah, so that's good. Of course, that guy reached out to me right when I got back in my...
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, here's my address over in Spring Valley. I'm like, crap, I gotta go to Spring Valley. But he can wait. That's okay. Oh, man. If you just flick it like that, yeah, it'll work again. Yeah. Yeah, we got pilot light lit. We got our flashing light going.
That's cool.
So let's get this thing fired up and see how she runs. Get some video footage. I'll be able to analyze this back at the laboratory later. You'd be surprised what you can see, you know, like when I'm going through the footage that I have, it's like, oh man, I forgot to put a screw there, or I put everything in, but I forgot to tighten that one down, or I triple tighten this or that, because you're watching yourself work, you know. But this will show me how the flame's burning inside there. Did it go out?
Just do it on camera.
Yeah, a little GoPro. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. They might be choking it out. Space here. Why isn't the valve kicking over? Oh no, it's blinking. Here you go. Oh no, it's giving me low. It's giving me low thermopile voltage.
I was doing that earlier. 1, 2. What is that?
Oh, was it? Yeah, it's saying the thermopile voltage is low. Yeah. So it can do that for a number of reasons. So we gotta test that real fast. Yeah, I just got I got 10 of or 5 of them on Amazon for $10. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So of course I'm still using the busted one. All right.
But it works good.
Yeah.
That's what you needed to do.
Yeah, I needed to hold that down for me. Yeah. So we got 6. Look at that. We're even higher. We're even higher than the other one was. So, let me see. It could be the valve. So sometimes when the valves are bad, it'll throw a low thermopile voltage code. sometimes it'll do that.
This is no good.
Not really. Of course, it says this voltage is okay. Let's run it. Let's run it off of this. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like what's going on with your flame. So we got a couple problems going on here.
Is it yellow? Instead of being blue or what?
No, it's not able to get the exhaust out. So it's having trouble getting the exhaust out, and I think it's because these are so like, here's your cylinder, right? These aren't at enough of an angle. Yeah, they need to do. Yeah, like what I was trying to do. Yeah. So see how these are kind of.
Yeah, so
there's not as many of them, and they're tilted. So let's see.
So like that's what you're saying. They were probably choking it.
Yeah, well, it's definitely. I can see it. The whole flame is like smothered by the exhaust gas that's coming out.
We need to take that off again.
I'm sorry?
We need to take it out.
Yeah, I gotta pull it out. That's not hard to do. I think probably the best thing to do is to take it off of here.
Cut it a little bit.
Yeah, cut like, this much. Awesome.
So we're this.
Here we go. Oh yeah.
Rubber free.
Yeah, you gotta love them.
For the house, it's cool,
Oh yeah, man. Okay, so that should fix that problem. Okay, we're done there. So, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, you changed the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. 7, 8. Wait, what's that thing doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now we're getting 7 flashes. So it was throwing the code 2, right?
Right.
It said low thermopile voltage. I measured the thermopile voltage. It was 650 millivolts, which is plenty. So there's no reason why I should be doing that. So I changed essentially the circuit board, right? So I took your cover off. I put this other one back on, but this wouldn't fire up either. So I just kind of let it sit here with the pilot on for a while. I think it finally died. And then it came back with a 7 flash, which says it's the valve, right? So now it's saying it's the valve. The only way I could get the valve to work was with my thermopile voltage.
Right.
So we pop this in. I don't know if it'll work on this one. Yeah, it doesn't work on every single. Doesn't work on every single one. So I think we should probably change the valve, is what I'm thinking. I think that's kind of what's going on, which also kind of explains why it was going out.
Okay.
So, kind of a lot of issues. You got tagged, huh? You got a danger thing. Do not use.
It came
With the house. Came with the coil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like it there. So looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Of course, that's
Tight.
yeah. It's too tight.
That's a neat little gadget right
Yeah, it's
there. It's a battery. Is that what it is?
it's a battery. Yeah, it's two AAA batteries, right? That equal, they're 1.5 volts. So that comes out to 3 volts,
3
right?
volts, right.
1.5, 1.5, 3. So that's too much voltage. It'll shut down. It can handle up to 999 millivolts, right? But as soon as you hit a volt, it'll shut the valve. The circuit board isn't rated for that much voltage. And when we first built it, we built this one, the one I use, and that basically has a 10 ohm resistor that knocks that voltage down when it's under load. So if you measure it, it measures 3 volts, but as soon as it's under load, like any kind of draw, the resistor kicks in and then knocks it in half. Well, more than in half, because even 1.5 volts would be too much. So it knocks it down to, I'm not exactly sure, but somewhere around 700 millivolts, 750 millivolts. And it works on most valves, not quite every valve, and we think that's because the current is kind of unstable, sort of jumping around a little bit. So we made, that wasn't even in there all the way. Well, we're just gonna change the valve anyway. So we made one that had a variable adjuster on it, right? So we could go all the way down to 0, up to, 1 volt. And it was cool. So then we could test that on all the different valves, and that one worked on every single valve that we plugged it into. You just tweak it a little bit, and it would. And it had a more I don't know, stable current.
Yeah.
Right. But it broke. It broke on me. It was real sensitive, and it was.
Okay.
And it broke, and so I just got tired. It was more than I needed. What I needed was that, just something simple. Couple wires and a resistor in between, and you slam it in, and it works most of the time. Yeah, it works most of the time. So let me go get the valve that I want to put in. I got to get one with a adapter in it.
That one's too hard.
Yeah, it flexes this thing so much, and you can snap it and break it, and then you got a whole new batch of problems. So I should have one that's got an adapter in it, so let me go grab. Sometimes these water heaters just have a bunch of problems all at once. I've seen ones that, man, you would be like, oh, like I really shouldn't even have touched it because it was just so bad. Just rotted out, rusted, holes in it everywhere, like everything's frozen together, and I just would piece it together and get it working, and you'd like see a flame like through the holes in the surrounded by leaves and like an old rotted barn, you know, and it's just like, holy shit, there you go. And it's like, okay, thanks, all we want is hot water. That's what everybody says, you know, they're like, I don't care. Just give me hot water, okay. We get you hot water, but I highly recommend you replace this water heater.
You're gonna get hot, for sure.
Yeah, the barn might get real hot too. Yeah, really, really bad one.
I changed these little rooms too, little metal ones. You think this is better?
What's that?
Those metal little sheds for these things.
Yeah, you're doing okay. You probably want to stop water from getting in up there. Maybe put like shingles. A roof jack. They call shingles or a roof jack or something. Roof jacks are metal.
Oh, okay.
So you can pick one up at Home Depot over in the roofing section, and you just get it sized to whatever that pipe is, 3 inches or 4 inches, and pull it out, drop it in, and put a couple of nails in it or something, and a little bit of goop on the top, and you'll stop the rain from getting in. But I don't see, it doesn't look like it's, you know, suffering from a lot of rain damage, so I think you're okay.
Still.
Yeah.
My wife's like, no, let's get those metal. I'm like $300.
Oh, are they really?
Something like that,
yeah. They're a pain in the ass. You know, just opening the door on them and getting the door to fit right. It's really tricky.
The little ones for the pilot?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
for the burner.
Yeah.
So the valve lets it, I need gas, and then it opens up. That's probably why it's not going.
Yeah, something weird is going on. So I think the valve is starting to go because it was starting to shut off on you anyway. And then you were starting to experience voltage drops because that taped up, right? That's and then you're also kind of experiencing a lot of condensation. So, but it's struggling to do its thing.
No, got a new starter.
Yeah, a new clicker.
Not new, but new to me.
New to you. That's right. New to this water heater. Usually, if you can get the burner to come on, then there's like a reset procedure that you could do. If it keeps going out, then I'm gonna have to.
Is the pilot on already?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh,
Yeah, it just keeps going out on me though. Alright. Tired of dicking around with this. I'm trying to think. Let me try something real fast.
So before we take it off.
Yeah. Before I go through all that. I got one more circuit board.
So maybe that other circuit board is okay, huh?
Yeah, maybe, you know.
It's up to you if you want to try that.
Yeah, I mean, we already know it was throwing a 2-flash, right?
Right.
It was throwing a 2-flash. So, I mean, sure. Yeah, it's right here, right? Why not? Yeah, kind of. Once you start kind of going back like that. I usually like to put a third circuit board on.
Okay.
So that I can kind of get more verification that it's something instead of going back to the one that we know already had a problem. You know what I mean? But maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll give us good news. I feel like it will, but we'll try it out. So if it goes back to the way it was, it should come back up, flashing too. Which I don't care if I can get the burner to kick over, because if I can get the burner to kick over, I can do a reset on it. Okay, I'll hold that pilot light for me. Alright, it's gonna work. Alright. Cool. Alright, we went with your advice. And we're getting somewhere. Yeah, so we solved that whole problem, right, with the gas not being able to get out.
Oh yeah, the choking it.
Yeah, choking it out. So that's all done. So we got your original flue damper in there minus
A piece.
minus 6 inches,
6 inches.
which is not really enough to cause any problem.
Normally we should have that at the
Yeah, maybe it was the valve.
valve, not the. Does that mean your board's not good, or jack it up?
It could be. It's got a check mark on it,
Yeah,
but that
it's
doesn't mean much. Sometimes the parts don't
checked.
don't jive between each other.
True.
You know, it's weird. It's weird. I'm just doing it through its paces anyway. All right. So what did we end up doing here today? We did so much different things. So we ended up replacing the valve. We replaced essentially the entire burner assembly. We replaced the pilot assembly, and we pulled the flue damper out and cut. This is the one I wanted to put in, but the way these rings are set up on here, it just choked it out. But he had a lot of condensation, so he had some major condensation falling. And now, of course, nothing's falling. And that means the gas when it burns, it condenses and falls as water vapor. So we just pulled the dampener out and cut off about 6-7 inches off of it, and then put it back in, and that's up at the top. So yeah, so you got like a whole kind of new water heater system thing going on here. Hopefully you don't have any more problems. If you do, I mean, you just have to call me, and let me know, and then we can always change out the thermopile if it goes back to saying it had low voltage. I don't see how it could. It's 667 millivolts, that's plenty strong. So sometimes you get issues where it doesn't, something in the wiring harness just doesn't allow the voltage to get through, and you test it and it tests fine, and then you plug it in. It doesn't matter how many boards you give it, it's just nothing ever lights up. That's when I go to the truck and I throw a different one in, and then all of a sudden everything's fine, right? Yeah, so it's running pretty good. So new or different burner assembly, which took care of the, the sort of the rig job of the thermopile. We ended up changing the valve. That's the old valve right there. That's the old burner assembly, and that is a hacked up flue dampener right there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing and give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. Okay, we're back. Next day. That looks like the TRD. Yep. So the TRD is popped. See it here. Put that one in. Okay, so the TRD got too hot in the combustion chamber, caused the TRD to trip. So, part 2. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing. Hey, we're back again. So it turns out this was a 30-gallon water heater, and I put a 40-gallon burner assembly in it, and I think that's why it's tripping. So they were had a couple people watching me last night talking to me. I guess I just got distracted and didn't notice the size of the water heater. I didn't get a lot of information on this job before I got here. Whoops. Forgot to replace the TRD. Hey, Caesar.
You working close?
Yeah.
Oh. What are you, lunch break or something?
Oh, yeah, I didn't. Oh, thanks, man. Cool. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. No, it only takes like 20 minutes to do this. So I came by last night and replaced it, but when I was here last night, I noticed that you have a 30-gallon. And we put the burner assembly in for a 40-gallon. So I think that's what's doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's what's doing it. It really shouldn't, but maybe it's causing, because the spacing.
I was thinking, I was watching your YouTubes, about the airflow and all that.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, that sounds like it.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, it still could be that. If it does it again after this, then, yeah, we got to get out of here with a compressor or something and try and blow it all out, but it doesn't really look all that dirty,
Right.
But it keeps popping these things. It keeps popping these.
It pops them?
Yeah, there's like a vial in between, and then
Is that what we hear? I heard it pop.
enclosed.
Huh? It went pop, like popcorn.
No.
Oh, that's something else?
Yeah, it's something else. You'll hear the little trap door thing closed.
Oh, I see it.
Mm-hmm. So it's a lot harder to see the pilot light during the day.
Right, yeah.
But hopefully this takes care of it. So I'm thinking, so that this burner is like right here on the other one.
Oh.
So I think because it's over a little bit,
that might be off center.
it's like creating some kind of weird excessive amount of heat or something.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It's really all the conclusion I can come to because I was like, it's a 40, right? And I looked up and it's 29, and I'm like, oh shit, I put a 40-gallon. So normally it's not a problem. Well, usually it's not a problem if you put a 30 and a 40, but it might be a problem if you put a 40 and a 30.
Yeah. Is this the same burner I had before?
No, that one was missing. I went looking for it last night in the alley, hoping to find it.
Oh, that's right. I threw it away. Yeah.
And somebody came and stripped a bunch of stuff and took that. They like cut this off and took the thing off of it.
What's
I was like, oh shit. And I was like, well, we'll see if that's what it is. And then if I hear from you, then I'll know that's probably what it is. And then, before the morning even, I don't even think it went overnight, right?
Yeah, no, it didn't. It was, last night I told my son, go check, see if they have hot water. No, and then came back here. I was like, oh, that's out. And you try and turn it up.